In the last lecture, we created the basic structure of our first HTML document using the head and body element. Now let's start to fill it with some content. Now, back to our web page. In the head of the web page, let's just give our website a title for now. For that, we're going to use the title tag. Title. And write something like my first blog post in here. And now for the body. Let's start with some text. HTML has text for headings, starting with the H1 element for the main headings, all the way down to H6 for less important headings. So I'm going to use a H1 element here, and let's just repeat the text from the title, my first blog post. Alright. Now, do you want to see what this looks like in a browser? There's where bracket strength comes in again. One great feature of this editor is the so-called live preview. So when I hit this button here, it opens a new browser window with a live connection between our code and the browser, so that we can see all the changes we make in our code being immediately rendered by the browser. So when I go back to brackets, we see now that this symbol here has changed its color to orange, which means that the connection is now live. I will put these two windows side by side, so the brackets editor on this side and the Google Chrome window on this side, so we can see our changes immediately. I think this only works with Google Chrome though. If you prefer to use another browser, let's say Firefox or Safari or even Internet Explorer, you can totally do that. In that case, you gotta open the HTML file we created right from the blog post folder, and then hit the reload button each time you want to see the changes we made in the code. So this is what an H1 element looks like in a browser without any styling. Also notice how the title that we defined for our web page displays in the Google Chrome tab. Let's continue with some secondary headings now, which are, as you may guess, H2 elements. Okay, I'll write something like, this is my first blog post. And you see, like magic, that text appears on the right side in the browser. And since it's so fun, let's add another one right here. Let's say HTML is amazing. Amazing. Okay, now it's time for some paragraphs. Paragraphs are elements for larger text. And we use them just like this. Now we need some text for these paragraphs. So let's just go to Google Chrome and look for some blind text. So blind text is commonly used if we don't have any real text for a web page. And I'm just going to copy all of this and paste it right here. Okay, that's a lot of text. Maybe, I don't know, cut it here so it's not so much. Okay, we can close this. And alright, here we have a paragraph with some nice text in it. Now I will just make the same thing for the other paragraph I want below this H2. And now we see we have two paragraphs here. Now suppose you want to apply some basic formatting to the text. Do you want to see how? Alright, let's do it. I'm going to start with bold text using the strong tag. Like, this is a very... Now I use the strong element and close it. And now the word strong text because it is strong. No, because it is bold actually. Just some random text, just so you see how this works. So these two words are bold now. And now some italics, for which we use the EM tag, which stands for emphasis. So again, some random text. I would like to. Now the EM element, emphasize, how important it is to follow this course till the end. Okay, and now we have the emphasize word actually emphasized with the EM element. And last, some underlined text using the U tag, which you should actually not use on a real website, but I will show it to you anyway. So this is some U underlined text. Okay, now see, it's underlined here. But another thing you maybe noticed is that even with all these line breaks I made here in HTML document, nothing happened here in the browser. So in fact, I can do as many as I want here. You see, nothing happens. If I want a line break on my actual website, I have to use the BR element, which stands for break. It goes like this. Okay, now you see the line here breaks. Just to try it, let's put another one here. Again, it worked, and another one here. So now we have one line for each of the little sentences I wrote. Congratulations! You just created your first HTML page. It is like the most basic HTML you can possibly imagine, but it's really not bad for the beginning. And in the next lecture, we will add some images to this web page to make it a little less boring.